Will I like this movie? Yes. No. Yes. No. Isso é uma porcaria desgraça.
They don't speak pork and cheese in Mexico. How about you get your languages straight, muchacho?
What's going on, guys? Welcome to 31 Days of Horror. I'm Morgan Film Fan. Let's jump into some scares. Dimensiones Ocultas, or the English title Don't Panic, which doesn't translate from this, but the English title is Don't Panic, is a Mexican film directed by Rubén Galindo Jr., who also directed two of my favorite films from there that were also released by Vinegar Syndrome. This is a Vinegar Syndrome release. The other two are Cementerios del something, and then Landramos de Tumbas, which is basically grave robbers, and then Cementerio del something. It's Cementerio del something, which is cemetery of something. Those films, honestly, are so friggin' awesome. I mean, I cannot more strongly recommend those two films by the same director, and they're so fantastic. I've got to watch them again, but they might be 5 out of 5 each of them. And this one is by the same director, and it sounded cool, and the trailer looked awesome. And I had to check this out because I love the director so much. But man, this one disappointed me a lot, and especially compared to those other two, it's even a bigger disappointment. This film is just weird, and I don't know how to describe this film. It's going to be really difficult. First of all, this film is in English only, and it's spoken in English, so it's still dubbed. You have the dubs over the voices, but everybody is, you could tell they're speaking in English, so at least it's not dubbed in the sense where they're speaking over Spanish, which I would not be able to stand. But you don't have an option, like a Spanish option in this at all. There's a Spanish dub, but I didn't want to do that because if it's a dub, I don't like dubs at all. But basically, the original format of this film is English. But what we have going on is basically we have another Ouija board story where you have these kids at a birthday party. Kids, I guess. I think they're in high school. They play with the Ouija board, and then, one of them gets possessed and a demon comes out and starts to wreak havoc, and it kind of turns into a slasher style because one of the friends actually permanently gets possessed by this demon and starts to turn into like this character kind of thing and starts slashing everybody. Your main character is named Michael, and he starts to get some demonic effects on him himself, like his eyes at one point turn red and stay red kind of thing, and he falls in love with this girl at school. Her name is Alex, and she becomes his love interest, so you get this love story going on in the middle of the slasher movie. You have this other girl, Chrissy, I think her name is, and she's always in danger, but she barely shows up in the film, at least from what I saw. Like, for a character that everybody is trying to save, you barely see Chrissy. Like, I saw more, I think it's Chrissy or Christy. I saw more of Alex. Like, Alex shows up more in the film than Christy does, and Alex is never in danger, really. You can easily tell, this is a 1987 film, you can easily tell that the director was inspired by Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 2. In this film, but the guy loved Nightmare on Elm Street clearly because there's like scenes that are straight like in boiler rooms. You've got the main character that kind of is Freddy Krueger-esque. There's no like dream sequences in here or anything. It doesn't take that route, but it takes the cinematography and mood of Nightmare on Elm Street, especially the first one, but a lot of the second one too, because you get, I'm telling you, the main character, you get like massive homoerotic stuff with him and his friend, and the very Nightmare 2 stuff going on in here, and he wears these fucking pajamas, these dinosaur pajamas, which is at least size is too small for the guy. And like the shirt is tight as fuck on him, and he's got these like little boy pants, and they're fucking dinosaur pajamas. It's such a joke. And he wears them all the time, like in the night scenes. Like sometimes he'll go out and try to save the Chrissy girl, and he's wearing these pajamas. So there's unintentional comedy in here like crazy, like massively unintentional comedy. And I will give this film a positive on the practical effects as well. The gore effects are fantastic. Anything that has to do with gore and like, you know, weaponry and kills and stuff like that are really well done. And the director knows his horror. He likes his horror. But with 3 films in, this is easily the weakest. And it's the weakest by a landslide, because he made such masterpieces with those other 2 films, which I reviewed both on the channel. So if you want to go check out the reviews for the other 2s, it's Cementerio del Something and Ladrones de Tumbas, I think is how you pronounce it. Or you could just look up the director, Rubén Galindo Jr. Rubén, Ruben Galindo, Galindo Jr. Both reviews will come up. Those films are awesome. This one, not so much. I really did not like this film. I really did not have a good time with it. I'll watch it again. I'll keep it, and then maybe with a rewatch, it'll get better. There are some positives. I already mentioned them, but I mean, the acting is horrendous. You can't take any of it seriously. It's loaded with unintentional comedy, but not like fun unintentional comedy. It's just goofy and dumb unintentional comedy. And the story's just fucking boring, man. Like the story is just plays with a Ouija board. Someone gets possessed, starts slashing people. Weird Michael kid that you don't like even. Like I didn't like the protagonist. This kid's annoying. Like he's a dinosaur pajama wearing annoying guy. Who it just grinds my gears the whole time. And he tries to save this Chrissy girl that you barely see in the movie. And then you get some cool effects, which is the best part of the movie, but that's about it. Like, practical effects and awesome looking gore can't save a movie if the plot is not entertaining for me. So, I don't want to harp on it too much because I do love the director, but this, out of the 3, is his weakest entry. But if you want, like, something to, you know, drink to and laugh at, it's got that. You know, you're going to get a lot of unintentional comedy in here, and you're going to get a lot of Nightmare on Elm Street inspiration as well, like I mentioned. So, that's Dimensiones Ocultas. I'm not a Spanish speaker, so I try to pronounce it. I speak Portuguese, but Portuguese and Spanish are not the same language for everybody who thinks that they're similar enough. No, they're not. They're not the same. They're very different. So, yeah. That's Don't Panic. And that's all I got on it. So didn't work for me too much, but it is what it is. Till next 31 Days of Horror, check out what's on the channel so far. Check out previous years as well. And that's day 22 until day 23. Keep things spooky. Subscribe if you want to see more. And until next review, cheers.